There you go. So hello. I love YouTube, but YouTube is giving me way too many problems. So I keep having to make a video and then remake a video, and it really pisses me off when I have to do that. Um, uh, but anyway, what I was in the process of saying, and hopefully the video went through. But if it didn't go through, I hate to. I don't want to repeat everything I just said. So I'll give you the short of it. But I'm celebrating. I decided to have Easter because I didn't feel like I wasn't gonna celebrate anything for Easter. Frankly, I'm very annoyed right now with many people in my family, my mother and father. I've seen them more than enough. Usually, I'm the kind of kid who I'm away for college and then I come back for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I come back for Christmas and Easter, 2 holidays out of the year. I see my family twice a year, and now I see them every day, and I'm frankly rather sick of seeing them every day. So, which is why I'm moving out, and I can't take this anymore. But I was complaining about my family and the family situation, and what I was saying was I'm reading this book right now by Susan Faludi called Stiffed, The Betrayal of the American Man. There you go. And the book's about how feminism often blames men for sexist norms, but most of those sexist norms ultimately don't benefit the average man themselves. And so the average man, in an attempt to understand those sexist norms put men into very narrow categories of what it means to be a man, and therefore, since every man, expresses or needs to feel like a man, the options open to him to express his manhood has been narrowed to the point where often many men only know how to express manhood through violence. That's part of the book, but it's more. A lot of it's about how American men have been betrayed by the current economic system, and how that economic system at one point 50 years ago fostered an idea of manhood that was about a sort of motherly kind of manhood, about sharing and working with your teammates and that kind of thing for the government. And now that definition of manhood is all about individuality, getting what you can for yourself, making money for yourself. If you can't make money, you're not a man. That kind of thing. And so, what I was saying was, I feel like my parents act what I call the Cosby Show syndrome, or when it applies to women, I call it the Oprah syndrome. But the Cosby Show syndrome is the whole we're a perfect family, we don't have anything going on in our family, we all come together for holidays, and no one has anything bad to talk about. All we ever talk about when we hang out is usually school or work or maybe some brief thing about the news, but usually that's it. We never really spend a whole lot of time talking about feelings or just things going on in our lives, or we don't talk about a lot of things in our family. And so and one of the reasons, and so this is what I also said in the previous clip is, I spent a lot of time here back at home hoping I would heal some issues with my family, but instead what I've returned back to is sort of like a dollhouse, a plastic version of real life. Because we don't talk about any of the stuff that I went through growing up here at all. For just in case you guys I don't know if I ever brought this up to you guys, but like I tried to kill myself twice because I had such a hard time accepting the fact that I was gay. I was severely depressed for a number of years in high school and before high school and grade school because I had such a difficult time dealing with this issue. I was raised by two people who taught me that gay people were the sickest, nastiest things on planet Earth, and a whole society who bought into that kind of thinking. And it seems like, coming back here, all of that didn't happen. It's like they've rewritten the past so that, nothing bad ever happened. We're always just happy. We were always just on this level of success. Well, what I was going to say about that Cosby Show syndrome is my father feels like, I get the sensation that my family feels like, that because they are, middle class, because my father has a steady job, because my father has he's raised two kids who've gone off to college and everything. There's this sort of mentality that there's no problems, that we've had the perfect, picture perfect TV life. And that's bullshit, okay? It's bullshit. The TV life's bullshit, okay? I'm not a TV. Okay? This is why YouTube exists, because TV ain't real, okay? So YouTube tries to get a little more real. YouTube ain't real either, but this is a little more real than TV is. So It really bothers me because I feel like in the process of my family taking this mentality, they've had to erase all the bad things that happened growing up here, and all the bad things that happened growing up here in many ways happened to me because I was the really sensitive kid. I was the gay kid. I was the kid who was extremely smart but had a lot of white friends, which my parents didn't really like. And I was the kid who was not ideal. My brother was a basketball player. My brother, well, he wasn't that great in school, but he eventually got better. Got girls, heterosexual. He's the ideal kid. I was not the ideal kid. So a lot of the BS I put up with, a lot of the BS that happened in this family got dumped onto me in a lot of ways. And we don't talk about it at all. We never talk about it. And so I feel like in a lot of ways my history has been erased, which is one of the reasons why I can't stand living here. Because who would want to stand living in a place where your history got erased all the time? I bet this is a lot why a lot of black people have problems with America, because you feel like your history is getting erased all the time. I think this is the reason why a lot of people have problems with America, because regardless of your ethnic background, your history is being erased all the time in America. So I wasn't gonna even go to this Easter thing, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get I'm gonna roll me a fatty. Okay, I'm gonna roll me a huge one, and then I'm gonna go. Right, but I was thinking about this whole holiday thing. I'm not a big fan of holidays at all. I feel like holidays are ridiculous. I'm all fine for excuses to hang out with your family, but I feel like I'm all about meaningful connections with people. Regardless of who those people are. I'm all about connecting with people and having something meaningful build out of it. And I feel like with my family, meaningful things could be built out of it if they were just willing to deal with their issues. But they're not, and they made it very clear that they're not willing to deal. And a typical thing in all these books I read, I tell you, Derek Jensen telling the language of abusers and everything is trying to coerce you into silence, and that's a lot of ways what I feel when I live here at home. I feel like I'm being coerced into forgetting my own history, so that way I don't have a claim to virtue. I don't have a claim for grievance. Not to virtue, I shouldn't say that, but I don't have a claim for grievance. Why are you so angry all the time, Donovan? Why are you so why are you giving me this attitude all the time? I don't understand where this is coming from. And then if I go, well, let's think about it, where it might be coming from, then the whole conversation explodes into, well, let me tell you something, right? This is what's gonna happen. I don't appreciate this kind of attitude. And it's like, okay, well, I just said let's think about why I might have an attitude. And then we're not gonna try thinking about that, because thinking about that might go. Then I might have to go. I realize I did something to cause that attitude, in which case we can't think about that, because the dictates of power are that I can't be blamed for anything, but you can, because you're lower on the totem pole. I mean, a family structure is a very violent structure, if you ask me, and I've had enough of it. I've had enough. But I really thought when I moved back here with my family that my family had changed enough that we were willing to open and grow and be adults and grow. I mean, I really want to go through the process of growing. I'm about growing. Okay, I went from a kid in high school who tried to kill himself, okay, to who I am now. You guys, I mean, you don't know me, okay, right? But you've gotten some idea about my personality from all these political things I talk about all the time. And you see me play the piano and all this kind of things. And I've grown. Okay, one thing that I hope I can share with anyone watching this is that, human beings can grow. You can think, you can change as a person, you can expand as a person, you can grow. And I feel like my family ain't growing. I feel like instead of growing, they've opted to be plastic. Plastic. Barbie dolls. Black Barbie dolls, all right? And I'm not a Barbie doll type. Thank you, YouTube. I'm so, I don't know if you guys actually, how many people actually listen to these clips, but I have to say thank you for letting me get this stuff off my chest, though, because if it wasn't for YouTube the last 6 months, honestly, I don't know what I would have done. And you all should read this book. You all should pick up this book. I'm 100 pages into it, and this book is incredible. I'll have a clip about it maybe later. Incredible book. I also read this other book called The Creation of Patriarchy by Gerda Lerner. That's also incredible. Should talk about that some other time too. I'm having a whole feminist reading month. Anyway, happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good time. Or, doing something fun, whatever.